The 1960s Washington, D.C., the Cold War has the world on edge, East versus West, democracy versus communism, trust extinct, and inside CIA headquarters, an idea slithers out of a classified think tank. What if we could listen in on the Soviets using a cat? After a pregnant pause, laughter reverberates through the room, but not for long, because this wasn't a joke, it was real. They called it Operation Acoustic Kitty, a secret multi-million-dollar mission to turn a living cat into a spy, a microphone in its ear, a transmitter in its skull, a tail that doubles as an antenna. This was the CIA's attempt to outwit the KGB with the most unexpected weapon imaginable, a house cat. And spoiler, what followed would be one of the weirdest, most expensive and short-lived failures in espionage history. Why not a bird? Why not a bug? Why, of all creatures, a cat? Simple. Cats are stealth mode incarnate. They move silently, slip through alleys, perch unnoticed. Nobody looks twice at a stray cat near a park bench. They're ghosts in fur. Present but invisible, and that made them perfect for urban espionage. The CIA believed a cat could approach a guarded conversation, curl up, and without anyone noticing, broadcast enemy dialogue straight to a listening van down the street, a living surveillance device, hidden in plain sight. This wasn't a gadget strapped to the outside. No, this was surgery. The CIA's Office of Technical Services literally opened up the cat, implanting a microphone deep in its ear canal. A radio transmitter was wired into the skull, a fine antenna threaded through the tail. The battery tucked inside the abdomen. They turned a cat into a cyborg. It was a Frankenstein-level fusion of biology and tech, decades ahead of its time. But they didn't stop there. The CIA also tried to rewire natural feline instincts. Hunger, curiosity, wandering, all seen as bugs in the system. They introduced electronic stimuli to condition the cat, training it to override instinct and focus solely on the mission. On paper, genius. In reality, welcome to the chaos. Then came the real challenge: training. Unlike dogs, cats don't care what you want. They're not wired for obedience, they're wired for freedom. Still, the CIA tried. For months, they conditioned their feline agent to respond to audio cues, walk towards specific voices, and stay put near people speaking Russian without chasing birds or getting distracted by a butterfly. And after countless hours and endless frustration, they reached one chilling conclusion. The cat just wouldn't cooperate. The problem wasn't technology, it was biology. Then came test day, a city street, 2 suspected Soviet agents, a park bench, and a CIA van parked nearby, ready to receive the transmission. The cat, fully wired, mission ready, is released across the street. It takes a few steps and is immediately hit by a taxi. Just like that, game over. Years of research, millions of dollars, all flattened in seconds. The first and only field test of Operation Acoustic Kitty was a disaster. That story of the taxi is the most repeated version, but is it true? Years later, Robert Wallace, former director of the CIA's technical services, claimed the cat survived. He said the mission was cut short, the cat was retrieved and retired peacefully. Others call that revisionist history damage control for a deeply embarrassing chapter. Whatever the truth, the result was the same. The CIA shut the project down. In 2001, the CIA declassified a memo titled Views on Trained Cats. Their conclusion: the use of trained cats for foreign situations is not practical. Environmental and security variables rendered the technique unreliable. Translation: cool idea, terrible execution, but even then they called it a remarkable technological achievement because, of course, the government always finds a way to spin a loss into a win. Despite the failure, Operation Acoustic Kitty wasn't the end, it was the beginning. Today, the military trains dolphins to detect mines. DARPA experiments with remote-controlled beetles. There are pigeons that can guide missiles, neural implants in rats, biohybrids, cyborg organisms, brain-machine interfaces. What started with a cat on the streets of DC evolved into a global race to blend biology and surveillance. Acoustic Kitty didn't work, but the idea, it never died. Operation Acoustic Kitty was bizarre, tragic, and completely real. It proves one thing: governments will try anything in the name of intelligence, even wiring up a stray cat. It didn't work, but it happened. If this blew your mind, wait until you hear about Project Stargate, the Ghost Army, or the time the US planned to nuke the moon. So tap like, comment more spy stuff, and subscribe for more stories that are too weird not to be true. And next time you see a cat on the street, maybe check its tail.